Good morning everyone, especially to you ma'am. Ma'am, good morning. Ang report po namin ngayon ay tungkol sa the concept of elasticity. Elasticity of demand. In economics, however, elasticity means responsiveness. In general, it is the ratio of percentage in one variable to the percent in other variable. Kibali yun siya guys. Elasticity of demand guys means there has been a change in him or there has been a change when a percentage of a variable and sum. Nga di kita sa price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand is the responsiveness on consumers' demand to change in the price of the good sold. Kibali yun siya guys. The price elasticity of demand means that customer who buy their supply can change the price and return to normal their suppliers and other tools that can relate to the elasticity of demand. Next, income elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand is the responsiveness and on consumers' demand to change in their incomes. Kibalik one yan siya guys. The income elasticity of demand has its own ability that if possible, they ask for a favor that if only they can change their income and for them also measure what percentage of their income. Next, cross elasticity of demand. Cross elasticity of demand in economics, the cross elasticity of demand or cross price elasticity of demand measure the percentage change of the quantity demanded for a good to the percentage change in the price or another good. Ceteris paribus in real life, the quantity demanded of good is dependent on not only its own price elasticity of demand, but also the price of other related products.
In short, the price elasticity of demand is the responsiveness of the consumer when the price change. The income elasticity of demand is the responsiveness of the consumer based on their income. And the cross elasticity of demand is the responsiveness of the consumer for a certain good when the price change. For example of that goods is substitutes goods. Kung saan yung mas low price, then syempre dun bibili yung mga consumer. Now the focus of this topic is about the price elasticity of demand. So what is price elasticity of demand? It is the sensitivity of the quantities both when the price change. A 1% change of price. We're going to introduce the equation of the elasticity of demand and the formula of price elasticity, as well as the how to solve the price of elasticity.
Here is the equation of elasticity of demand. Delta, which is the absolute change, delta quantity demand over delta price. That is the equation for the elasticity of demand. Now our formula for the elasticity of price is Q2 minus Q1 over Q1 plus Q2 over 2. Divide by the price, which is the P2 minus P1 and P1 plus P2 over 2. Now, to know what are these formula, you can say the AP is the coefficient of our price elasticity. That is, we're going to find or to solve. The Q1, which is the original quantity demand, and the Q2 is the new quantity demand. Then the P1 is the original price and the P2 is the new price. Now, as you can see here, this is the whole price elasticity of demand. The equation and the formula. This is the whole formula of the elasticity of price. As you can see here in the formula, the numerator coefficient indicates the percentage change of the quantity demand. Habang dito naman sa ibaba, which is the denominator, is indicates about the percentage change of the price. So we're going to have a example. For example, suppose we have the following price and quantity schedule for good X. Its price from 6, 4 to 0, and the quantity is 0, 10, 20, 30. Now assume that we want how consumers would react if the price of good X decreased. We can solve the elasticity coefficient by applying the formula. Assuming the price will decrease from 6 pesos to 4 pesos and the quantity will increase from 0 to 10 units. So our original price, our price 1 equals to 6 pesos. Our price 2 is the 4 pesos. And our original quantity demand is the 0. Then our new quantity demand is 10. Now we're going to use this formula. Quantity demand 2, 10 minus 0 over quantity demand 1, 0 plus 10 over 2. For our price is P2, 4 minus P1, 6 over P1, 6 plus P2, 4 over 2. Then, we're going to solve this one. 10 minus 0, 10 over 0 plus 10, 10 over 2 over our price will be 4 minus 6 was negative 2 over 6 plus 4, 10 over 2. Then, we're going to solve this here, P2, this one, it would be
10 divide 2
was 5. So, 10 over 5. Over, we're going to solve this one,
10 divide 2
was 5. So, we're going to copy the negative 2 over 5. Next is, we're going to solve this one, the remaining one. So, we're going to divide 10 over 5, divide negative 2 over 5. When you're going to divide this one, we're going to cross multiply. So, 10 times 5 equals 50, and 5 times negative 2 equals negative 10. Then, 50 divide negative 10 equals negative 5. So, our coefficient arc elasticity is 5.
Let's have here a second example. Our original price would be 2 and our new price would be 0, while our quantity would be 20 to 30. The original quantity would be 20 and our new quantity would be 30. Now let's solve the elasticity of price. Our new quantity demand would be 30 minus the original quantity demand 20 over the original quantity plus the new quantity over 2. Divide by the price. Our price, the new price would be 0 minus the original price 2 over the original price plus the new price over 2. Then 30 minus 20 equals 10 over 20 plus 30 equals 50. Copy the 2. Divide by the price. 0 minus 2 equals negative 2. Then 2 plus 0 equals 2. Copy the 2. Then, first copy the 10 over 50 divide 2 equals 25. Divide by the price, copy the negative 2 over 2 divide 2 equals 1. Now we're going to divide the quantity demand and the price. 10 over 25 divide negative 2 over 1. We are going to cross multiply this one. 10 times 1 equals 10 over 25 times negative 2 equals negative 50. Now, 10 divided negative 50 equals negative 0.2. This is the elasticity of price, the coefficient of arc elasticity price. As you can see, both examples are negative. You don't have to mind the negative sign because we're going to focus the absolute value. The absolute value of example 1 is 5 and the absolute value of number 2 is 0.2. There's a rule in elasticity of demand. If elasticity of price is less than 1, then it is inelastic. And if elasticity of price is greater than 1, then it is elastic. As you can see here, example 1, example 2, the absolute value of example 1 is 5. It is less than 1, which means it is elastic. And here, the example 2, the absolute value is 0.2, and it is greater than 1, which means it is elastic. Now we're going to interpret the elasticity of coefficient or the price elasticity.
The interpretations of the elasticity coefficients. First, the elastic. Elastic is all about the responsiveness of the seller and buyer when it comes rather the demand and price. In elastic, the seller can raise the price without hurting the demand of the product. And elastic demand. And elastic demand is all about if the price was high, the demand would be less. Last, elastic demand. Elastic demand is sensitive about the price. The consumer will respond immediately. It's because the price was less, especially if they have so many substitutions about the product and they immediately buy.
Here's an example of graphical illustration of demand elastic. Let's just say na 4 yung price natin, then magdi-decrease siya 1% change ng price, which is 2, nag-decrease siya into 2. Then makikita natin habang nasa price 4 siya, yung quantity demand natin is nasa 5. Then yung nag-decrease siya sa 2 is naging 30 yung quantity demand natin. It is demand elastic kasi madaming bumibili sa products pagbaba ng price mo. Or kaya naman is yung products mo is a substitute na gustong bilhin ng mga tao. Now let's take a look the demand inelastic? Let's just say nag-decrease yung price. From the price 5, nag-decrease siya into 3. You can see from the price 5, may quantity demand siya na 10. Habang pag-decrease naman niya sa 3 na price, may quantity demand siya na 15. Even though there's a 1% change of price, hindi ganun ka-sensitive yung consumer sa pag-response niya sa price change. Yung product na binibenta mo is hindi ganoon kabenta. O kaya naman, yung product mo is not even a substitute product. So we have here the extreme types of demand elasticity. There's a perfectly elastic and there's a perfectly inelastic. Makikita mo sa perfectly inelastic yung price 1 and price 2. Yung mababa yung price 1 niya. Tapos, malaki naman yung price 2. Sa pagtaas niya ng price is maliit lang or nagstay lang yung quantity demand niya. Dito naman tayo sa perfectly elastic. Yung price niya is maliit lang and hindi naman siya nag-change, pero madami yung nag-demand. Makikita mo yung quantity 1 and yung quantity 2. Dumami yung nag-demand sa quantity 2. And that is called perfectly elastic. It states here that the greater horizontal the elasticity is, the greater elastic it is. And the greater vertical elasticity it is, the greater inelastic. Now, what determines demand elasticity? These are the important factors that influence the demand elasticity. Ease of substitution. Nagkakaroon ng change sa elasticity because madami yung substitution niya. And since madaming substitution kung saan yung low price, syempre dun naman talaga bibili yung mga tao, di ba? Next is proportion of total expenditures. Like I said kanina, kung saan mas low yung price, dun sila bibili. It depends on the consumer kung saan sila bibili. The greater the demand is, the greater the elasticity. Next is durability of product, which may include possibility of postponing purchase, possibility of repair, and use product market. Dito naman is nagpo-postpone si consumer kasi nga magdidepende yun sa durability ng product na binili niya. Either ipapa-repair niya yung product or bibili na lang siya ng another one. Next is length of period. Since promoted na yung market, madami na yung substitution, lumiliit na yung price, and also, advanced technology na tayo, so madali na yung pag-transport ng mga products that may also influence the elasticity of demand. Now let's proceed to the elasticity of supply. Elasticity of supply is the reaction or response of the seller or producer when the price change. Ito yung pag-response ni seller sa price. Now here is the equation of elasticity of price. Elasticity of price equals delta quantity supplied over delta price. Now here is the PES or the price elasticity of supply equals delta quantity supplies over delta price. That is the equation. And our formula would be quantity supply 2 minus quantity supply 1 over quantity supply 1 plus quantity supply 2 over 2. Divide by the price, which is the P1 minus P2 over P1 plus P2 over 2. Na kung isosolve natin to, pareho lang yung pagkakasolve niya sa price elasticity of demand formula. There's also a rule in elasticity of supply. Like elasticity of demand, if elasticity of supply is less than 1, then it is inelastic. If the elasticity of supply is greater than 1, then it is elastic. Now let's see the graphical illustration of supply elastic. For example, our price will increase from 2 to 4. As you can see, the price to its quantity demand is 20. When it increased to 4, its quantity demand is 30. It is elastic because the supplier react fast when the price change. Like what the group 2 said, there's a rule in supply. If the price is high, then the supply is high. When the price is low, then the supply is low. Now let's proceed to the supply in elastic. Our price would be 1, then it would increase to 3. As you can see, even though the price increased, the sensitivity of the supplier is low. Its quantity supply from 5 to 15. Now let's proceed to the extreme types of supply elasticity. There's perfect inelastic and perfect elastic. From perfect inelastic, there's P1 and P2, which means the price increase. Even though the price increase, it still stays on its quantity supplied. While the perfect elastic, the supplier here is more sensitive or more responsive to its price because the quantity supplied was increased. Now, what determines supply elasticity? These are the two important factors that influence the supply elasticity. First is time. From time to time, the price change and of course the demand change. If the supplier is more sensitive to the price, then it has a great elasticity. Next is time horizon involved in which production can be increased. There's a short run and long run. Yung short run, ito yung nagsusupply siya sa isang buyer. Pero, yung pera na binayad sa supplier is only cover the cost of the production. Kaya short run siya and it is inelastic, which means yung product na sinusupply niya is hindi gaanong nabibili ng mga consumer or kaya naman is hindi siya a substitute goods na kinakailangan ng mga consumer. Sa long run naman, ito yung nag-i-invest yung supplier ng pinakamatagal. Sinusupplyan niya yung buyer niya ng pinakamatagal. Kasi nga, yung products na sinusupply niya is maraming bumibili. And since maraming bumibili, lumalaki yung supply production capacity ng supplier. And that is all for our topic. Thank you everyone for listening!